was that point? You pointed, but on the camera, it actually I didn't see your hand. I just saw a thumb. Oh, we're live. Hi, hi everyone. Welcome to Raging Recaps, the show where we talk about the show where we play D&D.
Crushing it, man. Crushing it.
Yep, got this. Tonight we have, for the first time ever on Recaps, we have Carlos. Wave to the people, Carlos.
Hello, everybody. Excited to be here.
This is fantastic. And long-time mainstay, we have Jez. He's an old face. You all know what he looks like.
Hey, everyone.
This is what Carlos looks like. He's on that side, according to the Twitch screen that I'm looking at right now. First off, before we jump in, let's talk about Foundry, the amazing virtual tabletop that we use for our play. Like, I love it so much. We are very fortunate to have access to it. I love it. I just like the fact that I can open and close doors, and then if the door is locked, it makes like a lock sound.
Just all the field of view stuff is just super smooth. Super smooth.
Yeah.
Have you used this in the past? Have you used anything else like this before, Carlos?
No, I only ever used Roll20, and that was just not great.
How have you found jumping to this?
Really good. I love the macros. The macros are my favorite, actually. Being able to just drag and drop and then just click a button, you have all your skills there, is just so amazing. And my favorite thing is I have all my basic, like, custom cantrip almost things. So I have my Eldritch Blast when Hex is cast, Eldritch Blast when Hexblade Curse is cast, and then Eldritch Blast when both Hexblade Curse and Hex is cast. And like that is just a nightmare to set up in Roll20. So you have to like roll each thing individually, and then especially as we get later on, there's like 50 different rolls you have to make, so I'll forget. But it's so easy here. I literally just press a button, boom, it happens straight away. It's so good.
I haven't quite got into the macros yet myself. That's one thing I'm trying to, I guess, figure out how to manage in the system is when you do something which then has a follow-on effect for other things, like how you apply that modifier to future attacks for a certain period of time or something. Think about a barbarian's rage, I think, or even a anyway, there's some crazy stuff like that which I'm just trying to wrap my head around. So you're saying macros can take care of that?
As far as I think they can do a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm still pretty basic on it, and I'm nowhere near, doing anything really insane with it. But yeah, it works really well for me being able to do all of
that. Speaking of basic, as the most basic bitch here, I have absolutely no idea what a macro is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, I am not computer literate at all. That's why I have friends like everyone else that streams with us.
I wonder what the actual definition of it is. I think it's like something where like one input does like multiple different like outputs or effects or something like that, or something, right?
Like a small script, small program. So you put one input and does multiple actions.
That's about right.
Yeah.
That's about as good as I can explain it. I'm only thinking to how you define an Excel macro.
Yeah. No idea. Speaking of other cool stuff, we hit 500 followers on Twitter.
Huge.
Overnight.
Oh my God.
Which is absolutely massive. And to say thank you to our glorious community, we are going to be releasing the next batch of character journals on our Buy Me a Coffee page for free. 1 week only, get in while it's hot. If you like what you read, don't forget to follow us and do the different tiers and stuff. I don't know, you know a bit more about the Buy Me a Coffee, Jez, because you run it, because you just, I don't know, you just do everything. So.
Buy Me a Coffee thing is really cool. It's very similar to Patreon, except whereas Patreon, you must be a recurring payer to get access to different things. With this, if you just want access to one thing, it's a one-off option, and you can do that. One-off payment, you can do that. But it also gives us the ability to start to build out, I guess, a mailing list which we can use to notify people of what's happening within our campaign, within our world, within the world of Raging Rolls, and heaps more. And this is where we are posting all our character journals after each session. A lot of us will write up what our characters would be thinking throughout that last session, and put that live, and it's really cool reading. It's really interesting to see everyone's different perspectives, and I've found it being like the publisher for this, reviewing everyone's and really getting to see how everyone's characters are starting to really form, and the little niggling tensions that are building between some characters or alliances here and there. It's really cool to see how it's all fleshing out. And then the kicker, sorry Dan, is that at major events or fairly significant events, the DM will come in and write a public facing post, which is from the persona of the overseer, a non-deity, non-DM, just someone who's observing all the actions of all these characters. It's really interesting stuff.
Like even when our characters poop?
If it's significant enough, probably, yeah. Why not?
Oh God, that's a lot.
You planning something for next session?
To distract us from that, let's also talk about that we are 17 followers away from our giveaway.
17, huge.
Once we get to 250 followers here on Twitch, we're going to be doing a giveaway of Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Your choice of digital or hardcover copy, and we'll get that to you. Characters poop all the time. Okay, it's usually off screen. But yes, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft gives you all you need to add some spoopy elements to your current campaigns or new campaigns that you may be running. I'm just over 100 pages into it. I already have so many ideas for one-shots and things to add into my own home games. It is absolutely fantastic. The artwork in it, as a big fan of horror, it is. Did we just get 3 followers in a row?
Oh no, sorry. I had to do something behind the scenes. Our followers we acquired,
Okay.
we got since Thursday, but I had to just refresh those things so the numbers in the little follower progress bar lined up correctly. Otherwise, I was saying 20, not 30, not 17. Anyway, carry on, as you were.
All right, definitely follow us. You'll also get notified when we go live, so you don't never miss out on the action and us discussing the action on the recaps. But with that being said, let's just jump into discussing last session. Like, we started off, we're in the mansion, we've successfully pulled off the heist, nothing's gone wrong, and I don't know, like Hector, this is his first foray into the life of crime. Like, how was he feeling?
Hector's feeling, he was super pumped, super excited to be in there, righting wrongs, doing the bit of the Robin Hood thing, and taking back stuff from someone who didn't deserve it or had taken it without just cause. But at the same time, he's absolutely terrified. His heart is beaten out of his chest, and he just wants to, once we had acquired the goods, he just keen to get the hell out of there and run as fast as possible. He was very nervous. Not in his comfort zone.
Yeah, a little bit of nervous fighting. I that came across on the stream.
Good.
And Malkis, one of nobility that is Malkis. How was he feeling? We had a little bit of character interaction between you and your sword, the actual sword. No euphemisms intended.
Not yet.
Like, how was he feeling?
Yeah, so for Malkis, he was a bit conflicted about robbing them in the first place, the nobles, and working with the thieves in general. So you have to keep in mind that only up until about a year ago, Malkis was just living the noble lifestyle. He was chilling like a villain. And so I think for him, he was thinking like, oh my God, like these people, these peasants, like they could have just as easily been stealing from me or terrorizing my own family. And so he was feeling a little bit uncomfortable with that, but decided to go on through with it anyway, because he thinks basically the ends justify the means, and he's gonna have to work with these people and work with the group to be able to get stronger in himself, so he can eventually get revenge. And
Interesting. Yeah, because I didn't realize it was so soon for your character. Like
Yeah.
that explains a lot. Like I know this because I am on the stream as well. So you'll think Finry has no idea about most things. But yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Why you were because that little bit of RP between you and Robin, like that was like I was watching that and I was listening and I was like, he seems really shook by this. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
It's been interesting. What like as a player watching you play Malkis as really, as though it's coming across really quiet in a lot of regards. But is that just because Malkis is really unsure of like, am I in the right place here?
Yeah, so that is definitely part of it, and another part, and I'm not sure how much this comes through, is that. So yeah, Malkis comes from the noble background, and so him being dressing up all in black and acting like a tough guy, that really is a lot of an act to him. Like he's putting on this performance basically. And I think when he looks at other people, like the real badasses, like Harm and Rob, or the other death cleric in the party, that was in the party, we'll see. And like he sees them, he does, I think, want to emulate their kind of natural badassery and edginess, but I don't think it comes just as naturally to him just yet.
So you're a faux edgelord.
I think so, yeah. I think that's where is that?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see like you go into like next session and stuff because we're split up. So we've got a lot of characters who are not very. We haven't really had a lot of interaction. I'm keen to see what the party does. I'm looking forward to some great like role-playing moments between the party. I have some things that I know that Finry wants to talk to not Raya about.
Yeah.
Rab, Harm, sorry, yes.
Rab. I've already thought of a couple of things that Finry, like, over the course of the last couple of sessions, wants to talk to different people in the party about. Part of the reason, like, Finry can tell that Malkis feels a bit left out. He's very quiet and stuff, so he's trying to bring him out of the shell, hence the hat and the feather.
Yeah, I love it. That's great.
It doesn't look like Malkis has won for a few laughs though, just yet.
No, he's still figuring things out, I think. Yeah.
And then, so we got the items and we made it back to the Thieves Guild.
Let's just, before we get back to the Thieves Guild, that was just way too easy. I know last recaps we were talking about how, okay, we finished this session, we just got all these items. What hell have we just, unleashed within this mansion? Because you could look at the map and there's doors and shit and so much blackout everywhere. It's like, okay, something's going to happen here. It was too simple to get out, right? And I wonder what the repercussions of that are going to be. I'm sure we're going to be ending up back at that house, but I mean, Hector's super nervous that was just, Hector's pretty excited that was really easy to do. As a player, that makes me really nervous.
Finry was just like, of course it was that good. We are the best. We're led by Finry. He knows what he's doing.
Such a leader, leadership qualities.
Such a leader. He's so charismatic. And what was going through your mind, Carlos? Like,
yeah, I was immediately really suspicious, I think, of the just everything. It just didn't make sense to me. The fact that this apparently super powerful Thieves Guild needed us to go to this house where everything was literally just in the room in huge chests that didn't even need to be unlocked. And then the person that got sent with us immediately somehow found their specific magical item that they were supposed to get. Everything just seemed like really like, oh my God, what's happening here? And there was no resistance. There was only 2 guards. They went away. Yeah, everything seemed a bit strange. And especially the quality of the items. Malkis was just like, what the hell? Like, this is trash. Like, why do we even need this? And like, it would be really weird that there'd be 8 of these just trash items, but one of them is meant to be super powerful. So yeah, it all seemed a bit strange, and definitely not fully convinced it was as it seemed.
I don't know, like, we managed to get the rings pretty simply.
Yeah, that is another thing that he was wondering about. Is like, what's the deal with these these different the circles? Didn't seem very.
Yeah, well, like, Malkis didn't have to worry about it anyway because he already had the 8th ring because he's actually the big bad guy.
Well, I don't know about that.
It's out now.
It's out. It's my main thing. Like, yeah, it's this is what the sword. That's why I haven't learned its name because we're gonna have to destroy it. We're gonna toss it in the fires of Mount Doom. I know how this goes.
I mean, speaking that into existence, who knows?
Yeah. So many times on these things are like, oh, maybe this will happen. Oh god, we hope that better not happen. And so far we've been safe, but I'm sure it won't last forever.
Yeah.
So we get back to the Thieves Guild.
And then we present the items to Altaeus, whatever. I can't.
Galathaniel. The mouthful.
Yeah. It's an Elvish name, hence why I just kept referring to her as the leader. Because I was like, I'm never going to remember this. But that tense bit of almost negotiation where we're like, hey, let us look at this item that you've told us to go grab for you. Like, that it started to feel like it was about to go one of two ways, like fight, or if Hector can convince this person, we're going to be able to find out what this thing is and possibly then in the future steal it for ourselves.
Yeah, because it was too many unknowns. We were sending there to steal this thing, which not even Altalis knew what it was, or so she led us to believe. So we had to figure it out. We had to find out what it was. Luckily, Hector's managed to talk reason with her and get the okay to take a look at it.
It was
a bit disappointing though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's paperweight.
It's a paperweight. It was a 5-sided metal object. I loved how the DM described it though. It applies a gravitational force to an item. Makes things really... I just stopped writing when I realized what I was writing down.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a paperweight. It's a paperweight.
Yeah.
It's a chunk of metal in the shape of a star.
Yeah, I was exactly the same. I was writing down the information and I'm like... I was like, literally, metal 5-sided star. Gravity, no, it's a paperweight, and that's what I said.
No taking stops there.
I'm surprised how quickly you guys caught on to that. I was thinking it was like had some magical effect where it was like anti-gravity. It was holding things up or something, and I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool. And then 10 seconds later, and I'm like, oh my god, what the hell?
Yeah.
I thought it was this massive thing which had these like the ability to just draw, like create a black hole teleportation area or something like that, a wormhole. But no, it's just the metal paperweight.
Yeah, and then the Altaeus just didn't believe you when you told her what it was. Part of me was like, oh, don't actually tell her that it's not magical. Like, in my head, I'm like, don't tell her it's not magical because, what if she decides that she's going to renege on the deal? Like, my brain was like starting to freak out. I'm like, I can't say any of this because I don't know this information. The only person who knows it is Hector.
To be fair though, if we told her the truth and she had reneged on her deal, she was not going to see through the night. Right?
Yeah,
if she'd have said, all right, cough up, you owe me everything, that was never going to happen. Everything was in our possession.
See, you guys might have felt that, but I very much was of the mind like, okay, I need to get what I need from this woman.
Oh, yeah, you had other skin in the game, didn't you? Or Finry did.
yeah, I was just like, no, I need to make sure this works and that we get what we're after, what Finry's after, so that with this little bloodshed as possible.
Mm-hmm.
What was Finry after?
Finry has he has a indecipherable notebook, which, well, like, on the stream, it was revealed that it's a sales ledger. He can't decipher it. He's been unable to. People his eyes haven't been able to. It needs to be someone within the thieves' organizations and stuff of Trencasia who have the specific key to decode it. And the thing that he wants from it is the record of where his mother and sister were sold to. So he can go, the only person who maybe remembers some of this would be Hector.
Yep, it's all written down right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Raya also knows that because I did that message to Raya to be like, I need these people so I can find my family. But Dave hasn't brought that back up, so I don't know if he remembers it or not. So
wait, which Raya are you talking about?
Shit. Harmon. Shit. He's gonna kill me. Finry's not gonna make it through the next session.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think there was a lot of emotions going on in that scene, because for me, Malkis, he was fuming. He was just angry at the entire the premise that we had to split everything 50-50. So if anything went wrong, he was just so ready to just give me a reason. I hate these people. I don't want to work with them, and they're screwing us. We're taking all the risks. They're getting half the rewards. This is so unfair. But I was like, just calm, remain calm.
Yeah, but as anyone who's worked pretty much like any entry level job and stuff, the amount of work you do for the amount of payoff is
It felt like that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the job wasn't that difficult, right?
No, it wasn't. We there was no repercussions.
It was the principle.
Yeah,
it was the principle. Well, I guess. Do you think this might be skipping ahead a bit? Do you think the events at the end of the episode are directly related to us?
100%.
100%. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, either we did something or there was something on one of the things that we grabbed that led them to us. There is no way, because Robin described the things like a labyrinth, like think the Thieves Guild in Skyrim, where you're like constant different corners, dead ends and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, no, my guess is it was the paperweight had some enchantment or something on it, like a located beacon.
It didn't have anything on it. It was just a paperweight. Hector checked.
Just a paperweight. It was probably the frog on the stick then.
Wait, where's his labyrinth? The mansion's the labyrinth.
No, the Thieves Guild.
The Thieves Guild, that's right.
Yeah. If you played Skyrim, haven't you?
A little. Not fully.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. No. Well, there's this Thieves Guild in one of the towns. Yeah, that is like a labyrinth underneath the town, and you got to like navigate it to do like different missions and stuff, and you can join the Thieves Guild and all this stuff. Skyrim's an awesome game. Everyone watching, play Skyrim, but make sure to take breaks so you can watch us on stream.
Exactly. So at what point after we determined, that the star was nothing but a paperweight, did Felva walk in?
That was pretty soon after we discovered it. And then, he walks in and he was just like, he was just an asshole straight away.
Straight up douchebag.
Straight up, yeah.
Bloody gnomes. No, he wasn't a gnome, was he? He was a gnome. Yeah.
Yep.
Gnome, he was also an artificer looking to have another look at the star, and he also determined it was a fake. Yeah. As I recall.
But he was blaming you for it.
Yep, he thought Hector broke it. Didn't like Hector touching his stuff.
Is that a thing that you'd be able to expect someone to do? Like, remove the magic from an item? That seems insane, like insanely powerful to be able to do that, right? Must be like really grasping at straws. Like, oh my god, this just.
I'm making a note of that action now. Can I create something?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure artificers are able to take an enchantment, certain types of enchantment at later levels, and put them on something else. Because because artificers they can make magic items. So when he's able to, and when he's the downtime to do so, Jez can make a bag of holding for us.
Well, it's not quite that straightforward.
For me.
It's not, but you can.
I can. This is the thing, right? Because there's so many variables in the artificer class. Like, right now, I know what they call 4 different infusions, and I can have 2 infusions active at any time. One of those possible infusions that I can learn is to replicate item. And I think one of those things I can replicate is a bag of holding. Now, how many bags of holding would you need? So how many times would I want to use that? All right, so the pros and cons. It's not as... At face value, you think an artificer, I can just create all this crazy stuff, magical items. But at least the class description doesn't read that way. But I'm not going to stop you from trying.
Exactly. Well, you can have the idea for it, and you can possibly make one. Yeah, the infusions very much, Carlos, work the same way like the Warlock invocations do.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I've never seen an artificer or played with one of them. So it's the first time for me. That's really cool. Really cool class.
They're fun. I have one in my Curse of Stride campaign. He's a pain in the ass because he just summons a frigate because he's an artillerist, so he just summons a cannon that just also acts on his turn and just shoots everything that I throw at him. And I'm just like, cool. And then he's got his friggin' Flash of Genius that he can add to his or a creature that he can see within a certain range's saving throw. Which is just, it's so broken because he uses it for like so much, and at level 9 he's got so many uses of it. I'm just like, so I just started throwing little things at him that he might need to use it on, so that way I can just wear him out and be like, yeah, that's what you get. Don't fuck with me. Artificers is pretty cool. I'm
still trying to figure out how to play the utility character, but I'm sure we'll get there.
It's good. I still have a +1 armor at the moment, so
you do.
I'm very happy with that.
Armor, and Asteria has a +1 staff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Hector jizzed on my armor. And
really bad descriptions of what I was trying to achieve.
It was such a bad description. I was just like, I'm not going to say anything now, but just wait.
Let him finish the whole description, and then block it.
Yeah.
That was like 3 sessions ago or something. I infused your armor with a special chemical.
Special chemical. Milky white substance. So that's lasted this long, and I'm actually really happy with it. I didn't realize it was going to last that long. I was like, oh, okay. Sweet. And then, so it sucks that Hinsa couldn't make it tonight because I wanted to talk to her about the date.
Yeah.
It was the second part.
Yeah, that was interesting. Tell us your perspective as being Finry in Asteria's ear.
Yeah. I'm just happy I'm proficient with like disguise kit and I have access to makeup and stuff, so I know a little bit about how to make someone look good. I'm enjoying that thing. I'm a bit worried for Asteria. She's like, sometimes she's like, super powerful and stuff, but has no world sense whatsoever. Like, I've learned I know about romance from romance novels, and I'm like, cool, that's a very skewed thing. That's like, learning about certain things from watching certain websites on the internet. That's all you know.
Yeah, I think she does it well, though. She plays the character, the naivety of Asteria really well, and the innocence of it.
It's
just
so good.
Waiting to be corrupted by Finry.
Finry wouldn't corrupt her. Finry may be a little ball of chaos, but he's like, he will treat people respectfully for the most part, as long as they're respectful towards him. And she keeps asking for his help, so he's like, well, I'm going to try and do right by her. Like, the way I think of it, he kind of like she kind of reminds him of his little sister.
Mhm.
So he's like very much like being like, you know, I'll like help you where I can, but certain things you got to learn to do for yourself.
Hey, Izzy, welcome. No, it's
Hi,
bright and early
Izzy.
there, but great to have you with
Hello.
us. Yeah. So this is when drinks were going down, right?
Yeah.
It was quite the drinking occasion. Where was Malkis when all this party was going down?
Oh, so Malkis doesn't drink alcohol. He is very, very anti-alcoholic drinks. Mainly because, so just a bit of backstory. He was drugged and nearly executed or eaten alive by his parents and their cult, and so he doesn't like, especially drinks from other people and people he doesn't know, doesn't trust. So he wasn't really partaking in any of the alcohol. Might have had some non-alcoholic drinks if they were available, some water or something. But yeah, he did kind of feel a little bit sick at the thought of drinking and making friends with all the thieves and everything like that. He didn't like interacting much with them, so he was a bit salty that night, I think, and then went off to bed pretty early.
Went off to bed to have a chat with his sword, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's why he takes so long in the shower. He's cleaning his sword.
But drinks
But no.
flowed. Drinks flowed freely. The cider was flying around.
Enough so that Hector wouldn't remember anything that Finry asked him or talked to him about for the rest of the night.
Yeah. I remember Dave messaged me like, I've got an idea of what I want Hector to make, right? Just before the drinks got too messy. It was when, because I saw what he wanted me to make. I was like, oh, okay, we can roll with that. We'll try and roll with it right now. So I thought, we'll see if Hector can create a tiny, like, tooth-sized capsule in a leather pouch that you can keep in your mouth. And then when the DM's like, leather? How are you going to keep it secure? String?
Yeah.
No, wax. I don't know where wax came from, but then I thought that was perfect. So I was really keen to see how Dave was going to play Raya having the capsule, and how awesome was that? How he got the capsule in there, just grabs his axe,
cool.
knock out a tooth.
Yeah,
No worries.
Cool. That was a really cool moment.
But yeah, that was really cool. And it was awesome to see the DM just roll with it, like catch on what we're trying to achieve and just roll with it, and just it all just fell into place beautifully. Yeah, but it seemed like Finry was trying to understand something he'd acquired in the past.
Yeah, that ring. It's been like I hadn't had a chance to talk with Hector. Finry hadn't had a chance to talk with Hector about it because so much had been going on the last couple of sessions. Like, you know, we went and fought a bullet, a land shark, and then we went back to the inn, and then we came to Avolo, and then we got attacked by bandits, and all of this stuff had happened. So finally a quiet time where he could actually like approach his friend Hector, who has grown more to trust during our journeys, because, you know, this is like, it's like the first time that Hector and Finry have gone on the same adventure together.
Apart from the land sharks, but yes.
Yeah, in a way, the land shark, I'm talking like pre-campaign.
Oh yes,
because before then it was like Finry was like, you know, the person grabbing items and stuff from dangerous locales and stuff for Hector. But he's really like started to grow fond of Hector out of like pretty much everyone in the party, because they've actually had that time to talk with each other and stuff like that. Yeah, so he was like, well, and then he saw you know, Hector do the thing with the paperweight, and he's like, oh, can he figure out what things are? And it was like, well, let's see if he can figure out what this thing is. And yeah, and then found out that it's the Ring of Arcanum, which is
OP.
It's a little bit good. Oh, it's only like spells that I already know, so I've just got one free cast of like a spell. Which, as you've noticed, Finry has only just started to start casting spells in the actual game. Before, he doesn't have really any opportunity or need to cast a spell. So,
What kind of spellcasting ability does an arcane trickster rogue have?
wizard spells from illusion and enchantment schools of magic, and that's it.
That's pretty good.
Until later on.
Like a wide range of things. Like, have you got, let's say level. What are we now? Level 4. Have you got a good range to call from at the moment, or fairly?
So I've got like mage hands, friends. You've got minor illusion, and then level 1 spell slots. I've got Tasha's hideous laughter. I've got charm person, and distort value. And I think I've got one more spell that I can't remember what exactly it is.
Friends? Or suggest or something like that?
I think I've got friends, which is my cantrip.
That's right.
My fantastic cantrip that came in big help.
Clutch. So we learned a bit more about Finry's past, and that's where I think when Hector won't remember it, but you were certainly talking to Hector about the what's his name? Benedict de
Bolbeck.
Bolbeck.
Yep, Benedict de Bolsack.
That's right, and how he was the slave trader. No, he worked for slave trader Joe.
He works for slave trader Joe. Yep.
Yeah, and you stole that ring a long while ago.
I did. Yes. When he discovered proof. So the way it works is like, there was the receipt of the sale, but it doesn't say where it went. That's why he stole the logbook of sales, so he can get that deciphered. And he's like, hey, while I'm here, I'm going to steal some gold and a ring, and then make my way down to Avonrath, to Avolo to get someone to decode this for me, because figuring it's far enough away that he can actually get someone to do it before word reaches them.
So, in Finry's head, though, he's in his last 5 years, he's been carting around this ring and this book.
Oh no! This is the past 6 months. He left Krago 6 months ago.
Oh, of course. Okay, right. This is
so he made his way down to Avolo, and then was like, Avolo's not for me for reasons, because he saw someone he knew, and he's like, I'll go down to Avonrath where we started, and that's where he met Hector.
Got it. Okay, cool. Right. Yeah, that's the end of my note, as where I've written end of drunk Hector.
End of drunk Hector.
Now, I cannot believe how good you were at drunk RP. That was insane.
Yeah, that was so
good. My god, just seems so legit.
That wasn't RP, mate. That was legit.
Yeah. That's what you were drinking.
Yeah, it didn't go down so well for the rest of the household here, but I enjoyed it. It was really hard, to be honest, because I'm thinking, okay, I've started out now Hector being a complete his head, but I know that Finry's trying to get something tangible out of this conversation. How do I toe the line between, completely tanked versus still trying to get the job done?
I had a good laugh when you were like, when I pulled out the ring and you're like, Finry, we haven't known each other for that long. it's too soon. I was like,
yeah, Hector's a hilarious guy. It's hard to be like, gnomes are supposed to be funny dudes. I'm trying to be the funny dude now. My jokes will not always be funny though, so be prepared.
It's alright. Neither am I.
So the next morning, I think what else happened that night that I can't remember? Oh, that's right.
Asteria slept with the Thieves Guild Master, and Asteria made mention of the Seven Rings to the leader of the Thieves Guild, and she's
the detail that you know that the demon is not going to let go.
Yeah.
So, it's just on that topic there. How wide of knowledge do we think these Seven Rings is?
now
circles. They will do
quite
circles.
wide. Previously, not so much so.
Yeah, that's my guess as well.
Now, since what event? Since that
Well,
last session, or since the last couple
so-
of months in story?
In story, like what we've spoken openly about the rings and stuff in the Chili Weasel canteen, and now it's been mentioned in front of pretty much everyone that we've come across. Someone's mentioned something, and my brain is just like breaking because I'm like, what the fuck? We're just like, it's gonna spread like wildfire, especially in a land where magic is a new thing. Like ultra powerful items. There's gonna be people who want these items to, be gods pretty much. And I have a feeling we're going to be regretting the fact that the Thieves Guild leader knows about these things. That's why I tried to throw off the scent and be like, oh yeah, no, there's one Johnny Earthenrath.
We're going to encounter Artalis again
Yeah, 100%.
at like the entrance to one of these circles.
Yeah, that's right. We'll just have Asteria seduce them.
What do you think about our next step going to the 5th circle? Do you think that makes sense, or do you think we'll even be able to, if we can even find the 5th circle, make any use out of it? Do you think it'll be open, or do you think we'd have to go through, like, systematically go through the 2nd and 3rd and 4th? What do you think?
I've thought about it a little bit. I don't know if it's like a systematic sort of thing. My thinking when I voted that we go for it is it's a lead that we have. We don't know where any of the other ones are, and not to mention it's on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things to look at and do between now and then, little story threads and stuff. Well, and plenty of opportunity for Finry to make some coin. I need a bigger feather for Malkis's hat because I had to use the last one.
Oh, that's right. So hang on. So we're like in the center of the country right now, are we not? We're just north of Avon.
We're like
We're still in the south.
We're like down in the south. We're like maybe like a week or a couple of days from like the bottom of the map.
Right. And we've got quite a trek to go to get to Ovol.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
We're pretty much like one city up, and
Yeah,
put
we're
it in
going.
perspective, there's like another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 until you get into the top half, and we've traveled like the distance of 1. So
Yeah, we're going to like the northeastern corner of the map.
And the
Which
city
is, I'm pretty sure is a
called
different country. It's a port of some
Dramesh.
sort. Oh, there we go.
Dramesh. We're going to Dramesh.
Yeah, but we're going to like the side, like, and as wide of a circle as we are able to, as far as Finry is concerned, to get there.
Around what? What are we avoiding?
Krago.
Of course.
Krago.
That's right, of course.
Ooh. Yeah, that'll be interesting because I think Krago is like situated in a pretty. I'm not sure if we will be able to avoid it because I think going north from there, it's like in between the these mountain dunes and the sea, as well as this like dead forest. So I'm not sure if we can. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I haven't studied the
Get
map
through
that
that.
much. Maybe I've got to get into it and have a look at it.
Yeah, I had the map. I don't know where it went.
Do you have it on Legend Keeper?
I have Legend Keeper, but it keeps asking me to sign in and I can't remember my password.
Oh,
so
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no. I reckon as far as we can, and I'm keen to explore a little bit more around. There is things going on besides our main quest.
Yeah, loads
Yeah,
of stuff. But I mean, we're going to find so many things. So many threads have opened up, especially with Isabeth talking about the fairy realm and the gates to get there and trying to decipher what that looks like. We have your continuation of your quest, looking for Joe the Dakota. Sorry, not Dakota Joe.
Dakota Jones. Dakota Jones is their name. Yeah.
There's Flint's mum trying to track down. We're trying to make Malkis laugh.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
I'm getting worn down by Finry, not gonna lie. He's
Yes.
wearing me down. He's making me feel like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be so cold and hard.
I think the next feather that Finry buys has to be a feather of +1 tickling. I can't imagine you guys playing that.
Ready for torture. Yeah, no, well, like, I had two choices for, like, when we split the party up. I was like, I either want to go with... Okay.
Yep, back up. We woke up after being drunk. Everyone's drunk except Malkis. Malkis walks out.
And Finry. Finry did not drink anything.
Right. You both walk out sober as a judge. And thankfully our Talus had put on a nice spread of very absorbing breads and things. But if I recall correctly, it didn't take very long for all hell to break loose.
No, yeah, explosions going on, and then we were told to run away, given a guide to lead us through the tunnels, and it was utter chaos.
The city guard had turned up. I don't know, for whatever reason.
And one,
I'm sure it's related to our recent escapades.
Yeah.
One very, very handsome Dwali Shadowhand made an appearance.
Okay, if he's handsome, I'll take your word for it.
Well, that's what the description, like, when I pictured it in my head, I'm like, this is a very attractive dwarf.
Yeah, my notes are quite short in this regard. It just says, hideout compromised by city guards, Dwali Shadowhand, explosion, running, guards found us. So pretty detailed.
What did you think was going on when all hell broke loose? I actually thought it was the it was the undead coming for us. That's what I assumed.
Yes, after Harmon Cave fell by the friggin' ring.
Wasn't it Rafe?
I think it was Rafe.
Rafe planted it.
Rafe. Oh, Rafe. Sorry, yeah. Oh, that's so good.
So Rafe planted the ring we'd acquired in the mansion heist. The ring of
undead detection.
Yeah, lure undead or something like that.
Yeah.
Just because Fava was being a jerk. So to let undead.
Oh, he deserved it.
And thankfully, it just needed to be touching skin, right? So I think Rafe just planted it in his pocket. And
no, he managed to get it on his hand.
Managed to get it on his hand.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
No, it wasn't his hand. He got it in the pocket and it went onto something else.
What?
If I remember correctly, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That needs to be.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I'll have to watch the video again, but I'm pretty sure at that point it got a little bit not safe for work.
So yeah, hence why you were thinking, Carlos, that was the undead coming for us, or at least making an appearance.
Yeah.
Not the case though. 10 city guards turned up.
Yeah, and I think that went off totally without a hitch.
Completely. Explosions, roof falling in. Who were following one of the goons, one of the thieves, to try and get out.
It was no help at all.
No help at all. Completely useless. We ended up in a spot where we were approached by the old Fabio Dwali, and then Finry stepped up. Finry's time to shine, right?
Well, Finry tried to start with, pretending that we were prisoners and stuff. I rewatched that when I was editing the video, and I was sitting there and I'm just like, oh god. Very embarrassing.
And Harm wanted to swing straight away and kill them.
Harm and Malkis wanted to swing.
Yeah,
Malkis wanted to swing?
Just like, I was so on the edge. I was so ready. I was just like, please do something. Let us attack. You know what I mean? I was just waiting for the right moment, but I didn't want to force it to happen on everybody because I was like, well, if the team isn't ready, if they're not prepared, then we're just going to get slaughtered. We need to be, in sync. So I was waiting for I think Harm to make the decisive action, whether or not to go in or not.
Yeah. And then I was like looking through my spells and thinking about what the hell I could do to get us out of this. And I was like, a charm person. Like, no, because my my spell save DC isn't very high. This person is very attractive, so they probably have a very high charisma. This is in Finry's head. And it was like, what can I do? What can I do? I'm like, friends doesn't require a save.
Wow, it doesn't require a save. You just instantly friends with someone.
It's instant. For a minute, you have advantage on all persuasion checks. On all charisma-based checks.
Oh, okay. So there's definitely still a lot of risk there, though.
Yeah. You can still roll like with advantage and roll like a 2 and a 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then
you managed to persuade him to let us go, right?
Yeah, with the proviso that we'd meet him the next day. And the whole thing with that was pretty much just continue talking, say anything, whatever Robin says, just like twist it, make it in my favor, in the party's favor, and just continue talking. Just bullshit my way. Like pretty much customer service, just bullshit until the person goes away.
Just bullshit until the customer goes away. Wow.
Yeah. Make it until you make it, pretty much.
So we bolted.
We bolted, yeah.
And they let us go until the guy realised that he'd been had. That he'd been fooled or tricked by the trickster. Shocker. We were long gone. 6 of us, right?
Yep.
6 of us?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, 3 groups of 2.
Flint isn't with us. Ray is not, and Raya isn't with us either.
Be interesting to see where they turn up. They might turn up
if they turn up
another hidey place. What do we think about the decision to split the party, which Hector was definitely not comfortable with? Big call in episode 5.
So Finry was like, he understands it because Lalo, if we're a massive group, we're going to stick out like sore thumbs, considering the fact that we've got a cat with us and a drow or half drow. We've got a walking constellation.
No, she's a cat. She's a cat right now.
Yeah.
She's a cat right now.
But the other one, the Wraith cat, is a bit of a target.
Yeah, and it was just like, well, it's probably the best route. That's why I was trying very hard to push for disguises and stuff. But I'm also like, as a player character, I'm looking forward to this because I'm looking forward to seeing the role playing between the different groups as we're split. I don't know. What do you guys think?
What do you think, Alice?
I'm pretty much in agreement. Out of character, I'm super excited to be able to role play with Rafe. I don't think in character, I'm not even sure if we've exchanged words at all. So it is a really interesting blend. I think the different groups that got split up have like really interesting blends of characters that haven't really engaged much. So I'm really excited to see what happens from that. And then in character, I think Malkis is okay with it. He feels competent by himself. He is worried that the other people in the group might get lost and we won't be able to find them, or if they get captured and things would just go awry from that. But he is pretty confident in himself, especially from being just a noble background, and he's just going to put on some fancy clothes, pretend he's his dead brother, and then if any guard comes up to him, be like, "Who are you? Why are you talking to me? Get away from me." You know what I mean? So he's not worried.
And you've got a pretty high charisma, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be fine.
Is your brother's name Malkis?
No, it is no, I forget it.
Oh, that's okay. I was just taking the piss.
Mordrin, that's it. Mordrin.
Yeah.
Very
that doesn't sound like an evil name, but I'm guessing that Malkis is the evil twin.
Yeah, no, Mordrin, he was very, very good. He was a nice boy.
It's like Dritz. Hector, how are you feeling about the party splitting?
Hector's not big on strength or anything like that, or size, so he is pretty terrified, about to part ways from some of the heavy hitters, holding a cat of stars, basically. Pretty nervous.
Guys, I am the most worried about.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
But we might be able to like go undetected much more easily than say a drow and a tabaxi.
Mhm.
So we might be able to sneak around fairly undetected. I have an idea. I need to run by Hinza to see if how she wants to play it as we break into our 3 different groups. But yeah, I think as a player, it's going to be interesting. I think there's no small amount of risk to come with it. If any of us are spotted, that could be lights out, depending how heavy-handed the DM wants to play it. Yeah, and then, should Flint and Rhea pop up? Where and how will be the next question, because that just makes another pair we have to track down. And then...
Exactly.
So it's going to be fun to see how that all plays out. But then what? We have to get the hell out of Avolo, right?
Finry's not going to leave.
I know. That's the problem, Finry. Dan. That's going to be problematic.
Finry needs to find Dakota Jones. But Finry has his way. He is a wily little character. He knows the certain signals and he knows thieves' cant and stuff like that. So he knows how to get messages to people, and he currently has the coin to get messages to the right people.
What? Was that something you had when you started this? Well,
I had some coin, but we also all of us got 100 gold pieces from robbing the mansion.
Oh, sorry, you mean actual money, not like a magical coin like you had in last campaign.
Yeah.
No.
Right,
No. But he knows thieves' cant, and he knows how to get messages to people in low places and things like that to set up this get this meet done, so they can get the book decoded, so then he can leave Avolo, because he doesn't want to leave Avolo until he gets the information in the Academy pool. Yeah.
Yeah,
he also might.
Will be happy with that.
Say what?
I think Malkis will be happy with that and will support staying in the city. He definitely has unfinished business at the house. He wants to get to the bottom of it and get these magical items, especially because it'll give us leverage over the Thieves Guild, being able to give it to them or sell it to them in exchange for something else. We can get a better deal, than we might have before, especially because they want it so badly. Malkis is definitely interested in sticking around and doing that.
Hang on, Malkis wants to go back to the house.
Yeah, 100%. Malkis actually wants to go back right now. If he was in charge of the decision-making process, he'd be like, okay, right now, before we even split up, let's go back to the house right now.
Yeah,
because all the guards are here. Yeah, all the guards are in the city doing this raid. If there are any at the house, no one would be expecting. If they were, if they were tracking us, they would never expect that we'd be going back there right now, because they're getting us right now. It's supposed to be right. It's supposed to be capturing us. So Malkis thought this was the perfect time. He's like, okay, we'll play it safe. We can go back to them anyway.
Okay. That's really interesting. I hadn't thought of that. Oh. Yeah, probably if you say this to Finry, he'll be like, any excuse to stay in town.
I wonder if the decryption key you need is somewhere tucked away in the mansion, in Rihanna's mansion.
I think Dakota Jones is the key.
Maybe Dakota Jones is the name of a book.
Ooh, so it's literally the first word of a certain book is the way to decipher the code.
Oh man, that's just a word of a puzzle within
every chapter.
Enigma.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking too much about it. It's gonna hurt my head. But let's look forward to. Okay, let's. What? You go.
No. Carry on. I was just going to do what you're about to do now.
I was going to say, before we jump off, who would you have picked to be your partner with the party split if you could go back, and why?
Oh, that's a good question.
In character or out of character?
In character. And you can explain out of character why that person is your decision.
Finry.
Oh,
interesting.
Just because, we've had the most to do as characters so far. So I feel like that's where Hector's loyalties currently lie. You know, Hector is starting to feel like Finry trusts him and wants to make sure that, you know, Finry knows how to get around places without being seen. That's the person to stick with.
Excellent.
Carlos?
For Malkis, I think it'd have to be Harm. I think in all the fights so far, Harm has just been insanely strong, and Malkis does respect that. He's like, wow, this guy is really powerful and quite a scary dude. I want to, you know, learn from him, see what he's like. And he does does want to kind of emulate his kind of vibe or style that he puts off. A really intense, oh, I'm a evil death cleric, I will kill you.
Is Malkis fangirling over Harm?
I think a little bit. I think a
You're
little
a man,
bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Man crush, a bromance.
Yeah.
So far.
He would never admit it, of course, and he would always be like, huh. As if, who cares? But on the inside, I think on the inside, he's like, oh wow, yeah, that guy's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Excellent. And
That Finry.
for Finry?
Okay, so two choices was Hector because it's the safe bet. We know each other. We know each other's capabilities and everything like that. The other person though would be Malkis because Finry he's trying really hard because he wants to, because he looks at Malkis and he's like, this person, like, he's part of the group and stuff, but he's not chatting to everyone, and he didn't get a ring. He feels a little bit sad for him because he didn't get a ring. It's part of the reason he got a hat. But he wants to, like, get to know Malkis a bit better. Really, because he can see that, like, hopefully that he's like, no, Malkis he might look a bit scary, but he's a nice person and stuff. Not like with, you know, Harm and Raya, where they're just fucking scary as shit.
True.
But he also, because he needs to replace Malkis's feather, so he'd also want to get his input and be like, hey, let's go looking for feathers.
Yeah.
I love it. The sympathy and companionship.
Yeah.
I think Malkis wouldn't mind. He'd be pretty split about it. I think he does deep down, I think, like you and enjoy the interactions he and Finry has, but on the other side, he's like, man, this is just too much. This guy is too much for me. I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be strong and get powerful. I'm not sure if this is the right company. It's like
Finry's like, hey bro, you know you don't need to be an edgelord. You can be yourself, bro. Like it's cool. Like, you know, you're cool. You got a wicked sword and stuff. You don't need to be more than that. Like,
I love it.
Can't wait to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
But we have who we have, and I'm looking forward to that anyway. I don't know if you guys already have plans to chat with the other people, the people that you teamed up with. But I'm super keen for Thursday, where who knows what's going to happen. Oh,
that's it. Right now, it's like we have no idea what's going to happen next. Just that each of us have to hide. Hang on, question before we break. Have we all gone off in our groups already, or are we still waiting to run?
I believe we had started, we disguised ourselves. So you have to talk about what disguises you chose and stuff like that. And then we've split already, as far as I'm aware.
Have we decided where we're going to meet up again?
Yes, the central fountain. Because
that's right.
You know, the whole last episode was ended up very Friends themed. We're like, the Central Park fountain.
Yeah,
that's right.
The next day at like noon.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but hey, we'll be back in 2 sleeps time, or if you don't sleep, in Thursday. 48 hours. 48 hours. We'll be back here live on Twitch with session 6 of Call of the Seven Rings. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you've got friends who are interested in D&D, why not point them in our direction? And hey, if you're keen to get the new book, what better way to get it than getting people to follow us and you get a book for free? Like, who doesn't like free stuff, especially when it's free D&D books?
Absolutely. It's amazing.
That's amazing.
But we'll see you guys Thursday, 8:30 p.m.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Carlos. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for watching. Those that stuck around, those that are just joining or been in and out. We really love and appreciate your guys' support. We hope to see you on Thursday.
We'll see you then. Thanks, everyone.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.